So, this is it, and this is enough, and there is no one. That's about it. There isn't really anything else to say. For the next 4 hours, we will just say that maybe in different ways. But this is it, this is enough, and there is no one, is what this is about. If we get that, not that we can get it, but if that is got, then that's it. That's all we're talking about. The great secret that we're searching for. Most of us are searching for a secret. Some of us consciously, some of us unconsciously. And most of us are searching for a secret. And we find all sorts of secrets. We stumble across secrets in all sorts of ways. And for a while, that secret seems to be the secret. And then after a while, usually it turns out that it's just a secret rather than the secret. So we get bored with it. It doesn't put an end to our searching, and so we look for another the secret. By the way, I was told last night my voice is a bit quiet for this room, so I'll try to remember to speak up. But if you have difficulty hearing, please don't hesitate to remind me to speak up. It's obvious where different people look for the secret. The secret that will put an end to the problem of being a person. The secret that will put an end to the problem of feeling inadequate as a person, not good enough. Some of us seek it in religion, some of us find the secret in God, and then it turns out it's just a secret, not the secret. I hope you're getting the distinction between that, in the English language. Some of us search through spiritual paths, and again, spiritual paths are wonderful because they contain so many secrets. We can find secret after secret after secret. We can find the secret of the 7th level of enlightenment, and then we can find the secret of the 12th level of enlightenment, and on and on and on and on. Maybe we can even find the secret of levitation, or the secret of walking through walls, the secret of reading people's thoughts. It's wonderful. Maybe we might search for the secret through channeling. Perhaps we channel a great cosmic being who knows what the purpose of the universe is. We know all this. We know all this. Maybe we might search for the secret of improving the planet, saving the planet, personal happiness, personal wealth. On and on and on it goes. As long as there's a feeling of separation here, as long as there's a feeling of inadequacy here, as long as there's a feeling of pain here, there will never be a shortage of stories that promise us this is the way to put an end to your suffering. Follow me, my brothers and sisters, and this will put an end to your suffering. Buddhism didn't do it, try Christianity, etc., etc., etc. You, right? But in between you and that view, there is a very ugly concrete office block. That's what it's like. I mean, it's not surprising if you don't find the view of the countryside fascinating, beautiful, or enough. If there is an ugly concrete office block in the way. That ugly concrete office block, I don't know if this metaphor is going to work. I may have to give it up. We'll see. But that ugly concrete office block is it's like, if you like, it is our sense of being a person. It's the neurosis, the anxiety, the guilt, the worry, the hope, the fears. Now, If you're staring at an ugly concrete office block, it's not surprising. It's not surprising if we then try to make it look nicer. If we try to decorate it. So, we paint it pretty colours. We paint a mural on it. Maybe we paint on the front of the office block a painting of the countryside that we can't see behind it. Of course, then it does look prettier. It looks better, but we're still looking at a concrete office block. This metaphor, which is about to die in its own complexity, I hope some of you are getting it. The painting of the office block, that represents all the work that we do on ourselves as a separate person. All the therapy and the chakra clearing and the psychotherapy and the body work and the massage work and all the things that we do, the praying to God, all the things that we do to try to make ourselves feel better as a person. That's what I mean by decorating the office block. Now, what the office block needs is demolishing. It needs to be blown up by dynamite. It doesn't matter how much you paint it. It doesn't matter how much, how many therapeutic massage sessions we have. All we're doing is painting the office block. By the way, I'm not putting down therapeutic massage sessions. They can be beautiful. They can be wonderful. They can be very helpful to a person, but they still leave the person. The person may be more relaxed and smelling beautifully of massage oil, which is great. Great for you and for everybody else. But it's still a person. So as long as there is this sense that we're separate, in a way we're helpless because that's all we can do. All we can do is try to paint the concrete building so that it looks prettier. When the person collapses, it's like the concrete office block has been blown up with dynamite. And then suddenly there is no need to decorate, to paint, to ornament, to make anything look prettier. Suddenly it's seen this is not just it, but it's enough. That's what's meant, when we say this is it and this is enough. This is seen. Some people call this clear seeing. I don't particularly relate to that phrase very much myself, so I don't tend to use it. But I relate to it in that way. Clear seeing. Seeing this as it is, without the neurotic person in the way, and then it's seen to be enough. Why? Because it's seen to be a miracle. It's not only seen to be a miracle, it's seen to be the only miracle. And when I say that, I don't mean that it's seen any differently. I don't mean that suddenly everything's full of fairy lights and sparkling, dancing energies and anything like that. It doesn't change it. The phenomena, if you like, the objects, the phenomena, whatever you want to call it, stay the same. The difference is that there's nobody seeing it. It's just seen. And because there's nobody seeing it, it's seen clearly. It's seen as the miracle that it is. For me, as I say, when I don't use that phrase much myself, but when I hear somebody writing, read somebody writing, or wow, this is as real as it gets. So to say this is a dream, even a waking dream, would seem insane. So maybe if we get that, we remember how many alternative realities we have apparently lived in nighttime dreams, perhaps then it makes a bit more sense to talk about this waking dream. The most seductive and addictive part of this waking dream, the most dreamlike part of this waking dream, is that there is a separate individual here making things happen, making choices, choosing to come to talks, making things happen. That's addictive, it's seductive, and it's a dream.
So it's always been a dream, it's now a dream, it will always be a dream. Oder?
Yes.
Yeah. And
But
sometimes...
in the part of the dream known as dreamless sleep, nothing is happening.
there's no dream. Yeah. Equivalent to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before one's born and after one's born.
In a way, it's obvious why we fear death, have concerns about death. It's obvious because it seems to threaten an end to the existence of the individual. Because in another way, we could say it's a puzzle that we fear death, because we all know what death is. We all dream at night and then wake up from that dream. That's a death. We all go to sleep at night. That's death. And we start dreaming, and then you wake up from that dream, or the dream ends, and that's another death. We could say we all die several times, and if you have 5 dreams in a night, you die 5 times. And the 6th time when you first go to sleep.
And nothing ever happened anyway.
And nothing ever happened anyway. But it's kind of obvious why, as long as there's a sense of separation here, it's obvious why I might be very concerned about death, because death seems to threaten the individual. And it does not just my individuality, which is very precious to me, it threatens the individuality of others who I love. So that's an additional threat to me. So it's no wonder that we make up so many stories about death. We probably make up more stories about death than about anything. What's at the heart of all the religious stories? Well, we could answer that question in different ways. We could say power and politics is at the heart of them, maybe. But one answer we could give is that what is at the heart of all the religious stories is they are our attempts to square the circle of what we see as our own personal death. Again, we can only talk in metaphors. I mean, I'll give you a few very well-known ones. One of them I was talking about last night. We talk about the depths of the ocean and the waves on the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
This oneness that you asked about is both of those because they're the same thing. We know very well that no matter how separate the waves look, they are the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So we have oneness being still and silent, and we have oneness apparently making waves on the ocean, being noisy and moving.
Being in motion, apparently.
So stillness and silence and noise and motion are the same thing. We can see that very clearly with the ocean. It's only a metaphor, but
yes,
we can see it very clearly. Another metaphor, again, it is very much only a metaphor. We could say that oneness is undifferentiated white light. What are we? We are a prism.
Mm-hmm.
The pure white light of being enters the prism and leaves as the many colours of the rainbow. Again, it's only a metaphor.